we move on to our 174-pound weight class as Penn State sends number 2 ranked Mark Hall out to face Logan Ritchie from Michigan State University. 174-pound weight class is underway.
Mark Hall, the NCAA champion from a year ago, knocked off Bo Jordan of Ohio State in the finals. And if you hadn't had an opportunity to check out that match, the takedown that Bo Jordan almost had on Mark Hall, if you're questioning how strong Mark Hall is, go watch that. To be able to get your hips from almost getting taken down by a top-tier guy in Bo Jordan to getting your hips out and defending that shot and picking up a takedown of your own, it's something you most likely will never see again.
As we see the strength here being displayed. There it is.
High crotch attempt for Mark Hall. And one of the debates in wrestling is, where is Mark Hall originally from? Because you take a look at where Mark Hall has wrestled here at Davison, Michigan, growing up, part of Roy Hall's program. Then he moves to, I believe it was Kentucky, because you can wrestle as a 7th grader. So he wrestled there. Then he moves to Apple Valley, Minnesota to compete for his high school career. And now he's at Penn State. So which state really claims Mark Hall? I know Michigan likes to take ownership of that.
I think I would have to go with Apple Valley. I mean, that's where he got his high school career.
Yeah.
That's where he really took that step into the collegiate career. So I credited Apple Valley. Our sheet in front of us credits Apple Valley.
And Apple Valley credits Apple Valley.
Of course, Apple Valley. And the other 2 or 3 towns you mentioned also probably credit themselves as well.
Beautiful pass by Double.
Closing in on a minute left in this first period. Mark Hall leads 6-2 over Michigan State's Logan Ritchie out of New Boston, Michigan. Ritchie 8-13 this season, 2-5 in duels. Has yet to pick up a fall.
And you're wondering, I mean, how is a returning NCAA champion, 16-0 on the season, ranked number 2 in the country? It doesn't make sense. Who's doing these rankings? You know, but then you take into consideration the NWCA All-Star Classic, where Mark Hall was defeated by Zahid Valencia of Arizona State. It doesn't count on your record. So if you're wondering how is that happening, that's the reason. It was the loss to Zahid Valencia, who's ranked number 1 in the country, also undefeated for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
So that's, as we look, it says 15-0 on the season. Like you mentioned, that one loss doesn't count towards his record, but he looks to pick up another one here and then work. You know, something tells me he's not worried about his ranking at all, 1 or 2. But as we take a look, Logan Ritchie there, we have our stats, looking to pick up his 9th victory of the season as Mark Hall leads this one 10-2 at the beginning of the second period. If you're just joining us, I'm Dimitri Bablish, joined alongside by Eric Olenowski. Penn State leads Michigan State by a team score of 27-3.
Ritchie with double boots in, was working on a power half, now has that side headlock. And now you see the referee counting. And I do want to touch on something. Nick Grasso, I had an opportunity to speak with him at the break about the NOLF, unsportsmanlike conduct. The rule being, if you voluntarily put your hand down when the top wrestler has your hands locked, that is an unsportsmanlike conduct. Nick Grasso provided some clarification. He said if any time after the first time, we'll call it for voluntarily putting your hand down, therefore being unsportsmanlike conduct. It was the first time, and he said he allowed Jake Tucker 3 seconds to let go of his hands and unlock his hands, and Tucker never did so. So that's why the locking hands was called, and NOLF was awarded at 1 point.
2 points awarded to Hall. That'll put him at 13 points with 30 seconds left in this second period. If you're looking ahead to flip the page to see the rest of the wrestlers, it's not getting much easier for Michigan State. You got number 1, Bo Nickel ranked coming up next, followed by we're not sure who we're going to see at 197, and then 285, number 8 ranked Nick Nevels for Penn State. So it's not getting much easier if you're a Spartan fan.
Yeah, and you said 197, not sure. Penn State did say it would be Anthony Kassar or Shakur Rashid, and Shakur Rashid has been the wrestler that they at least threw out on Friday night against Kevin Beasley for the University of Michigan. So I'm going to go with Shakur Rashid, but we'll wait and see.
Third period underway here, the 174-pound weight class.
And I think Ritchie chose top.
That's a quick reversal right there, 2 points. So the choosing of position does not work in Ritchie's favor there.
Beautiful. And the Michigan State coaching staff wanting Ritchie here to compete and finish this match strong. Still have a lot of time left. And let's take a look at the Penn State corner. How about that? Gale Sanderson, Olympic champion. Jake Varner to the far left, Olympic champion. And then, oh, there's just Casey Cunningham sitting in the corner as well. So it's what a great coaching staff to see sitting in the corner. You must look over there. The only time I've ever had an Olympic champion coaching me, I was wrestling in the Dapper Dan. And Kenny Monday, I look over in the corner and I ended up losing.
As the technical foul is called there with 39 seconds left in the third period. Mark Hall picks up bonus points for Penn State as they take a 32-3 team lead.
And watch the hips of Mark Hall. Drive, continue to work yourself up, and here fights one leg out at a time and looks for the reversal. And then another double leg, and those feet keep running. He had them track shoes on and picked up the technical fall.